Hey guys, my name is Jocelyn and welcome to Crystals and Cocktails. So in this episode, I want to talk about what crystals made me a crystal believer. And my crystal story, like my first crystal story and first experience with crystals ever was back in 2020. I was in a relationship and it ended horribly. I was like so distraught and I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was at a crossroads in my life and I felt like I was either going to go one way or that was me or the other way that was completely not who I was, but I was so hurt that I was just like, whatever, like this is me now kind of thing. And I remember talking to one of my friends and he was like, Jocelyn, I support you in whatever decision you make, but just remember who you are. Make sure whatever decision you make is the decision that you're going to be okay and accept it. So anyway, at that time, I was living with my cousin. She was like getting into crystals and she kind of told me, I think that maybe crystals will help you in this like healing process. And I'm like, crystals? I really wasn't aware of the healing benefits or anything of the matter. And I was going to like an appointment out of nowhere. My cousin was with me and we're at a red light. I like look on the right side and there's a crystal store. And I'm like, we were really early for my appointment. So I was like, let's go in. And I'm like, we went in and I'm like, oh my God, like you were literally telling me that I needed to go to a crystal store. At this time, we're in New York City and everything's pretty much shut down. So I'm like super surprised that this store is even open and it's a crystal store. So I was just flabbergasted about that. So I had limited time because obviously I was going to an appointment and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I literally just went on Google and I was like, crystals to help with healing a heartbreak, because obviously that's what I was going through. I will never forget this because I still have the screenshot from that day. It says crystal healing a broken heart. And I'm going to read you what it says. I will never forget these 4 crystals. It was rhodochrosite, jet stone, rose quartz, and unakite. Those were the 4 crystals that this website told me to get. So I'll never forget those 4 crystals. Those were my first 4 crystals ever, which is crazy because jet stone is such a crazy crystal to like work with when it's your first crystal. Like what? Jet stone, unakite, rhodochrosite. Like what is going on? It says crystal healing for a broken heart. Begin with one of the dark stones like onyx or jet. Place it under your pillow to absorb and transmute all the negative emotions inside and around you. During the daytime, carry rhodochrosite, rose quartz, and unakite with you to help with depression, forgiveness, acceptance, separation anxiety, and moving on. Do not use any of the dark crystals for a prolonged period of time. It is a very powerful stone and it can bring about insecurities and self-doubt. Crazy enough, I still to this day have the jet stone, mind you, 5 years later, and I have the rhodochrosite that I first purchased ever. This is the rhodochrosite. You can see, I think you can see well, I'm not sure. And this is the jet stone. Obviously it is all cracked and at one time it was in one piece. I had no idea about crystals, right? So my story, I got these 4 crystals. They say like with crystals, you kind of like feel the energy and you kind of like do things that you feel is right with them. And I felt like, I believe it was rhodochrosite and unakite. I used 2 crystals and I looked it up if it's okay to drink them. I put them in a tea. I was like, I want to drink it. I want to like literally digest the energy. That's how I was feeling. I was like such in a heartbreak. So I put those 2 babies in hot water and I drank it as a tea. Obviously I didn't drink the crystal, but I drank the energy. I was like, I'm trying to like get healed. I had all of the crystals always in my chest. And at this point, it's like day 1, day 2, like of the breakup. And I'm like, just like, it's that dreading cry, like that anyone hears it and it just breaks their heart. Like it was like sobbing. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. Anyway, I had all these crystals with me, those 4 crystals for a couple days, sleeping with them, loving them, drinking them, everything in my chest, all over. I was embedded in them. I was like, I gave everything, all of my energy. I was like, here, help. I don't know what day it was, maybe day 4, day 5, day 6 of it, having them. So I had neighbors and they were always there. The same friend that told me, like, Jocelyn, like, I support your decision. That friend, love him. Shout out Jolex. I love you. I love you. He knows how much he means to me and he knows how much he was such an important person in that time in my life. He helped me shift my mindset and just forever grateful for him. So I was like, Jocelyn, like you seem lighter today. Like you seem a bit happier, because every day I was like hysterically crying. And that day that I woke up, I felt like better. Like I was just like, oh, like, yeah, I actually didn't cry today. He's like, oh, wow. Like, whatever. We're all like hanging out in my living room. And then I was like, I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom and I had a corset on because I just finished working out, and I popped it open, toosh, and then I had like a sports bra on, but totally forgot about my crystals. And of course, I just hear them just go, psh, and I'm like, like literally bawling my eyes out. Like I didn't even look at them because I just was so petrified, because I'm like, literally, this is the last hope that I was holding on to, and they just fell on the tile. So when I finally look down, I'm like hysterically crying. I look down and all the crystals are not chipped, like except the jet stone, which was the one I just showed you that was completely shattered. And the rose quartz, the rhodochrosite, unakite, you wouldn't even knew they even left the shelf. Like they were in perfect condition. But the jet stone, which is the most hollowest stone, like if you pick up a jet stone, it's kind of hard to find in crystal stores, to be honest. Love the jet stone. It helps rip some deep stuff. That's why you can't really work with it for too long, because it's so hollow that it absorbs all of that negative energy or all of that like trauma and all that. Like it's a lot. It's good also to give to someone who's like mourning a loss. So anyway, the only stone that broke was the jet stone. And I'm like crying, I'm crying. I get out of the bathroom. Everyone's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, my crystals broke. Like I was like, they fell, blah, 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 whatever. At that time, my cousin, she just looks at me and she's like, if a crystal breaks, it could also mean that it fulfilled its purpose. And then I just looked at her and I was like, mind blown. I was like, oh my God. Immediately I became a crystal believer. I was like, that was crazy. Like it broke because it fulfilled its purpose. It helped me go through that like heart-wrenching, like it absorbed like all of those cries and those tears. And like literally ever since that moment after that, I was like, I'm unstoppable now. I got my babies on deck. Like they are supporting me. They are loving me. They are here. They feel me. They are going to get me to where I need to be. And that literally was what it was. And after that, I just became like literally and utterly obsessed. I became 100% a crystal girly. I was just going to random crystal places all over, and I would just line them up and just remember the names of all these random crystals. And I'm like, how do I know that this crystal is called labradorite, or why this crystal is called onyx, or why is this crystal called rhodochrosite, rhodonite? Why do I know the difference between them? Like it is the weirdest thing. It was like it was meant for me. I literally after that became a crystal guru. I became a crystal believer, a crystal lover, and I was like, this is real. It helps me through those hard days. All you do is cry, you drink Hennessy to the face and not even feel anything. Like that was that moment of my life. Like I was deep in that breakup, like heavy, and it ended very quickly. Thank God. Thank God for the jet stone. And I still keep that stone with me to this day. And it's a constant reminder of why I feel the way that I do about these crystals, about their energy and how much love and respect I have for them, because literally they have done so much for me. And I can't even describe it. That jet stone is what made me become what I am right now. Let's cheers to that, babe. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That is one of the many, many, many crystal stories that I have that also just clarified why I am totally and utterly obsessed and in love with them. I just would love to hear other people crystal stories, because it's just so beautiful and it's just like so magical. It's so magical. I can't even put it into words. It's so magical. So grateful. I love them all. I give them kisses. I love them. I also feel like a gifted stone is the best stone. So like if someone gives you a stone, like it's just so beautiful. And like I never give away a gifted stone. Like if someone gives me a stone, I never give it to someone else. But if there's a crystal that I have bought, I sometimes, if I feel like the person needs it more than me, then I give it to them. But I kind of do regret those 4 crystals. Like I wish I kept the other 2 and didn't give it away. So I have had those 4 those 4 crystals, but it's okay. Maybe the other people needed it at that time. And I hope they appreciate them. They probably didn't, because, well, maybe, who knows? I never saw them again. One day I'll show you my collection. I have so many crystals. I have crystals that I specifically bought to give away, to sell, or just give as presents, because I'm like, like, okay, not that I don't have an attachment to them, but I'm like, okay, like these are the ones I will give away. And like I always have like crystal baggies ready. So like if you see me coming to a party, you know I'm coming with crystals. Like everyone knows. But then I have my own collection. And my own collection, I don't give that away. Like that's mine. Those are my babies and I love them and I keep them dear to me. Those I don't give away. But I do have a wide selection of ones that I do. So sharing is caring, and a gifted stone is the best stone. And on that note, I'm going to end this episode, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next one. Cheers.